Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are all doing well. If you are looking at my watch, I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but it's 3 minutes past 2 a.m. in the morning, so it's extremely late. But I wanted to record because today I didn't record. It was a really extremely long day. Guys, I really start to be tired, but I'm living the experience of my life. Of course, it's not the point today to make a mini recap of what I did, even if I want to touch upon a few points. But guys, it's beautiful. I will tell you a bit later because we have to speak about Mercato. So if you didn't, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's try to beat that algorithm. This season I want to speak about beating the algorithm. Why? Because we entered the Damien Comolli era. And there is a name that we'll have to speak about that maybe has been looked for via the algorithm. Anyway, maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe and interact. That being said, we need to speak about Conceicao. Conceicao, according to the Portuguese paper Record, they're saying it's a done deal. What sources do they have? Is it sources from Porto? Did they have some confirmation? I have absolutely no idea. And then you have the other sources that are coming from Italy. What sources do they have? Is it Comolli? Is it Juve? Is it someone internal to Juve that is taking care of the Mercato? Even if we know that at the moment we have no sporting director, no technical director, with Massara that we were speaking about, that went to Roma, that we were speaking about another name, Bezzani, that stays at Toulouse. So to who they spoke, I don't know. But anyway, that source is saying us, no, he will not go to Juve because Juventus is still hesitating and they are looking for another name. Another name that could be Sancho. Do you want to speak about that? Yes, we can. But first of all, I will tell you, if you didn't yet, please, the link into the description, OneFootball, is extremely important because I see it. I'm traveling a lot. I'm working a lot. I try to find time like now at 2 a.m. in the morning to keep up with the Juve news, to keep you up to date about Juve, about Club World Cup. And it's quite difficult to gather all that information. So what I do when I enter after doing my shower, I lay on the bed, I open my app OneFootball and I start recapping what I can to have that full information so I'm able to translate it, or if it's in English, just to report it to you. So link is into the description, it's totally for free, do it now. So who do we want to believe? Record, the Portuguese paper, or we go with the Italian sources? It depends what you think about the player. You like him, you believe Porto. You believe Record and you go for him. You don't like him, you believe Di Marzio in the Italian sources that are saying no. What do I believe? I believe it's quite easy. The player, I watched him 3 times live, Juve Lazio, Juve Udinese, and then I watched him here live. Maybe I saw him. No, I didn't see him in Supercoppa because he was injured right before the game started. You remember when he was absolutely devastated. Anyway, I just watched him 3 times live. I watched him the entire season in every game when we were doing the watch-alongs, of course. It's a player that I'm asking myself, can you please find me a player for 30 million euro with his qualities, from his age, from his 1-year experience in Serie A, 1-year experience at Juve, a few weeks, maybe a few months already, experience with Igor Tudor. Find me a player for that money, with that experience, with his skills that are different from all the players that we already have at Juve. I don't know if you're able to hear, but I am in New York at the moment. If you're asking yourself, where is Beppe, where is he walking? I don't go too far from here. Why? Because the lighting is extremely bad in some streets and then the quality is extremely bad. So I prefer to stay here where we have a bit of lighting. So find me a player better than Conceicao and then we can start talking about it, because I don't find a lot of them. Player that has already been tested, is able to come from the bench. He's not someone that is controversial. He's accepting to start from the bench. He's accepting to play from the start, to alternate with some players. He's a player that can improve, of course, especially one thing. It is the decision making. So find me a player better than him and then we speak about it. Because if the player that you are telling me is Jadon, Sancho, with all the respect, a player that I like and that I also wanted at Juve, you remember last summer, especially because we were speaking about a loan, well, Jadon Sancho, paying the price for him, having him in permanent instead of Chico Conceicao, I am not sure. I am not sure. With all the respect for Sancho that I tell you, it's a player that I like, but he's already older. He's a player that needs to be tested in Serie A. How many English players are arriving from England to Italy and doing well? Not a lot, not a lot. So, you know, going and letting a potential good, great player, let's say good, great player, go for that minimum sum, even if today 30 million euros is still a lot of money, for a player that is a bet, I am not sure. Then, his journey at Manchester United cannot be really counted because we know that every single player that are going to the Reds, they are flopping. Because if there is one team that is really eating players, it is Manchester United. What did he do at Chelsea? Well, at Chelsea, he didn't do that bad. He was alternating good and ghosting moments. But in Premier League, it's a player that didn't achieve the potential that he had. Can he do it in Italy? I don't know. And that's the big problem, that today, I don't know, I cannot promise you. So, no, probably no. If there is really one name that could make me go crazy instead of Conceicao, you know what it is, because it's already a few months that I'm telling you, and there is absolutely no source, but I would love Juve and Comoli to go to Real Madrid knocking at the door and saying, guys, you have too many players. Do you need a bit of money? Because we have a bit of money that we saved and we want to go for that other Turkish offensive player. Arda Güler, that's the name that could totally convince me, and making no regret decision in saying, you know what, let him go. We have a player that, according to me, has a really beautiful future there. And I would not even take him on loan. I would go for him permanently, even if you pay a bit more. 50 million euro, we all agree and we go for that player. That's it. That's what I wanted to say. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Another name that we heard today or yesterday already is the name of Aguerd. That is a Moroccan player, 29 years old, playing at West Ham, has been loaned out to Real Sociedad. They are telling us maybe a swap deal, him to Juve, Rugani to West Ham. Guys, also there. Guys, with all the respect, I had to go on OneFootball. I had to go on Transfer Market to inform myself about the player. That he played 21 games in La Liga. It's a player that, honestly, Dijon, Rennes in France, not a spectacular past. And probably that's the algorithm of Comoli that are telling guys that's a player that could potentially give something to Juve. Honestly, I hope the algorithms of Daniel Comoli are a bit more sophisticated, a bit better, or at least that they are able to give us a bit better names. Otherwise, we'll have a problem. Anyway, Aguerd, that's it. Tudor, what do we see? A more aggressive Juve, a more offensive Juve. It's true, it was against Alain. Against Wydad, it will be already another game. So let's see what there we will see if we will have some confirmations of the football ideas of Tudor. But I already told you, I believe, yes, I believe that when he started his journey in black and white as a coach, as a first team coach, he couldn't really implement all the idea because he had no time. Now he has a bit more time because it was extremely crucial and important to qualify for Champions League without margin for mistakes. These margins for mistake are absolutely not there at Juve, because at Juve you cannot do any mistake. It's impossible. But of course, when you have an entire season to plan, you can allow yourself to test a bit. What else did I wanted to say? But a lot of you told me, Beppe, in the comment section or around, nobody speaking about Alberto Costa. Why didn't I speak about Alberto Costa after the game against Alain? Because it was Alain. Because I want to see Alberto Costa playing against a team that is really pushing, that is really putting him in difficulty defensively, because that will be the ultimate team test for me for Alberto Costa. What he's doing offensively is beautiful, and I noticed it, I watched it with my eyes. According to a lot of people, he was one of the best one of the game, and offensively I can tell you, yes, by the way, Kelly and Alberto Costa, they touched the same amount of balls offensively as Yildiz and as Conceicao. So offensively they did well, but of course, personally, a defender, I prefer first to judge him defensively instead of offensively. And that being said, now finishing, what can I tell you about my days here? I start really to be extremely tired. It's not easy to combine everything, to try to create some content for a vlog later, trying to create some shorts that are a bit fast, some are edited, some are not edited. To stay alert all time, because I can promise you that the team of Juve, I'm speaking not about the team that is following the players, I'm not speaking about the players, but the social team whom I am working, wow, chapeau for all the work that they do, because it's a 24/7 job. They never stop. So we wake up this morning. I was here already downstairs at 7 a.m. with a meeting before going to the Fanatic Fest. That is a huge big room with a lot of stands where they are showcasing a lot of sports with fan engagements, really great. NHL, NBA, soccer with 2 Italian teams, soccer, football, with 2 Italian teams that are represented, Inter, the bad ones, and Juve, the good ones. So today we were there for the entire day from 8 a.m. It started at 10, but the time that you prepare everything, until 6 p.m. I believe, before entering the hotel, taking a shower, and then going to restaurant, when I had the pleasure, the real pleasure, to finally meet someone that I know online since 5 years. I'm speaking about Marcella. So if she watched the video, big kudo. I was extremely happy to meet her. There was Andrea that I already met a few days ago in Washington. And also I had the opportunity to meet a few Juventini at the Fan Fest that knew that I was there. They popped up to say hello. Especially big thanks to LJJ. LJJ that is a loyal one of the channel, that is watching the lives, that is watching the videos, that today not only came to me and gave me a huge big hug, and we shared also a fruit lunch, which was really nice, but also offered me a shirt of Morata. Guys, I'm not telling you, when you see me offer me something, I have no space anymore in the luggage, because Nino did the same when I was in Washington. So please stop giving me gifts, which I really appreciate, of course, but that's absolutely not the intention. But seeing the love of Juventini, that is what is really driving me. You know, that 365 days a year I am behind my computer, since now the time that I decided to become a full-time content creator. This journey here is exhaustive. I'm tired, but it's so enriching from a professional point of view, but especially from a human point of view. The love that I'm receiving here from the staff of Juve, also, that are appreciating who I am, which is super important, what I do as a professional, crazy, but then the fans, and I speak about Juve fans, the tifosi that I meet here and there, where we take a time to speak, to hug, to take a selfie. Really, you can't even imagine. I would stay here 10 more minutes to speak about that. That to me is more important than to speak about Conceicao, Sancho, or Arda Güler. But of course, I know that your time is limited, my time is limited. So I will close here, and I will do a big general thank you to all the people that I met, that I meet, and that I will meet. You are fantastic. By the way, if you want to see me, I will of course be in Philadelphia. I will of course be in Orlando in a few days before the game. After the game, I will hanging around there. I will be in the Juventus villages, so inform yourselves if you are able still to enter or not. This is something I'm not responsible for. We see each other. Grazie Juventini, forza Juve.